All right, well, good evening, everyone. My name is Nick Spaeth. I'm the Director of College Counseling at Brookfield Academy. I also happen to serve as the president of the Wisconsin Association for College Admissions Counseling. So on behalf of WACAC, I want to welcome you to the presentation tonight about Arcadia University and to our virtual college exploration presented by both WACAC and StriveScan. Thank you for being here. A little bit of housekeeping before I turn it over to Nick with Acadia. Attendees, if you have any questions, you can submit those through the Q&A button. Your camera and microphone are off. So if you have a question for Nick, use the Q&A button, please. And a note that a recording of this session and all of the sessions over the last 2 weeks that have been a part of the virtual college exploration will be available on our website, wacac.com, most likely within the next few days. So without further ado, I will turn it over to Nick at Arcadia University. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nick. All right, let me get started for you guys. So here we go. So thank you so much for joining me here tonight. My name is Nick Milheim. I am here from Arcadia University. I work with students primarily from our home county, which is actually in Montgomery County in Pennsylvania, in addition to working with students from Wisconsin. So I'm so happy to be here. I also work with a cohort of student athletes as well. So if you fall under any of those umbrellas, I'm your guy. So I'm very happy to be here with you today. As you can see from this first slide here, we do have a beautiful castle on campus. We'll get a little bit more into that in a little bit. So to start things off, Arcadia University is actually located outside of Philadelphia. So we are part of the greater Philadelphia region in Glenside, PA. So Glenside itself is a nice little town in the suburbs of Philadelphia that has, lots of shops and restaurants and lots of things to do within the area. We are a suburban campus still though, so there's still lots of green space and, lots of open, territories and that sort of thing. So we are, have kind of the best of both worlds, and that we're about 25 minutes from downtown and Center City, Philadelphia, while also having kind of that suburban feel, which is really nice. As far as the numbers go, we are about 2,100 undergraduate students, about 1,400 grad students at Arcadia as well. One of them actually being myself. I am a grad student at Arcadia also. So we are a smaller institution, liberal arts institution, like I said, located in Glenside, Pennsylvania. Our average first year class size is about 14 students. That is something that is definitely felt through and through at Arcadia as well. One of our 3 pillars that's really important to us is that personal learning experience. So getting that personal learning experience is something that not only that we talk about, but it's something that you're really going to, experience at Arcadia as well. That average first year class size of 14 is definitely something that is true through and through. Your biggest class size is probably only going to be about 25 to 30 students at the most. In some of your classes. I love to tell the story. I actually, last summer when I was taking a class, I was the only person in the class. It was just me. So I promise that won't happen to you as an undergraduate student. But one thing that I really learned from that experience of being, the only person in the class is, one, that I had to do my homework really well, or else it wasn't a good class discussion. And 2 is that our faculty really are here for the students. Any other professor most likely would have, seen that only one person would have, signed up for that course, and they probably would have canceled it on me. So, when I showed up that first day, he was like, hey, if you're willing to learn, I'm willing to teach. And that meant a lot to me as a student, that you really had, faculty who were there for you and because they wanted to be. We have over 65 fields of study here at Arcadia. Our most popular majors on campus are biology. We have a number of pre-professional programs within biology as well. One of them being our doctorate of physical therapy. So we are actually ranked 20th in the nation when it comes to our doctorate of physical therapy. We also have a top 100 ranked physician's assistant program, which is one of our pre-professional programs. Other popular majors include education, international studies and international business, in addition to business administration and psychology as well. So those are just a few of the 65 that we have to offer. So a little bit about what's going on campus. So Arcadia is Division III athletics. We are part of the Mid-Atlantic Conference. That number, 26 Division III teams, varsity teams, actually just shot up a lot over the past year. So Some of the new sports that we added include actually men's and women's track and field, both indoor and outdoor. So that's a new one. We also have men's and women's ice hockey, which is really, really exciting as well. There actually aren't too many Division III, varsity hockey teams, ice hockey teams, especially in our area in Pennsylvania. So we are one of the only ones that have not only a men's team, but also a women's team as well, which is really amazing. And then one of the other really exciting programs that we added is esports. So esports obviously growing a lot across the country. Philadelphia actually has its own professional team in the Philadelphia Fusion, which is really exciting. And then here at Arcadia, we have our own varsity esports team as well. They compete in a number of different games, which is really exciting. We also have a state-of-the-art facility on campus, an esports gaming arena, which is really awesome. Vera really has, the most, that has awesome gear, awesome chairs and machines to work on, which is really amazing. And what's also awesome is that it's open for any student to take part in too. So when the team's not practicing, when they're not using it for the team, you do have the opportunity to go in with your friends and use some of the machines that they have in there. You can play, they have like an Xbox and a Wii and some other things in there too. So it's actually open to every student. It's not just simply for the esports team as well. So you can see in a couple pictures here, this is actually one of our workout facilities that we have on campus, the Cook Gymnasium. That is not only for athletes, that is for every student to take part of. They recently just actually expanded it a little bit. So under here where it says Walking Strong, there is a turfable area for like lots of stretching and any other workouts you would want to do on there. On the second floor, above here, this room is more cardio equipment and other machines for any student to use, for whatever they want. If not interested in playing a varsity sport, we do have intramural athletics in addition. So if you're more interested in playing much more recreationally with your friends, after your classes are done, you have the opportunity to do that as well, which is really amazing. Over 60 clubs and organizations to get involved in at Arcadia as well. What's so amazing is that every year we're seeing that number grow. So, last year it was about 50 clubs and organizations. Now we're over 60. So as new students are coming in, or as students kind of progress in their Arcadia journey, we're seeing more clubs and organizations pop up. That being said, like if there's something that you're passionate about at Arcadia when you get here, and you see that maybe there isn't a club or an organization for it yet, I guarantee there's someone else who's interested in it. So it's really, really awesome that we have the opportunity for you to get involved in so many different ways, whether it's social clubs, clubs that are designated for your major, other academic clubs. There are so many different ways to get involved. And lastly, at Arcadia, you are guaranteed housing all 4 years if you want to live on campus all 4 years. We do have traditional style residence halls. We have suite style residence halls. Excuse me. And then we also have apartment style housing right down the road. So there are so many different options to choose from. And then the last and the coolest one that we offer is we actually do have residence halls in the castle at Arcadia. So first year students do have the opportunity to live in the castle your first year, which is really, really amazing. I can guarantee you that the castle never gets old. I have an office in the castle. I don't know how I got an office in the castle. I try not to ask that too much, but it is really amazing. I guarantee that you would, one up all your friends if you live in a castle your first year compared to someone else. So pretty amazing. Here in Glenside, we want to help you find your home away from home as well. So, Glenside, itself, like I mentioned, is a nice little town with lots of shops and restaurants. It's an easy walk to get down from campus as well. Really easy to kind of get involved with the community. Up in the top right-hand corner here, we actually have a picture of students doing a first-year seminar course. So a first-year seminar course is something that every first-year student at Arcadia is going to take. It's really amazing because there are so many different options to choose from when it comes to your first year seminar course. We've had ones that focus on Harry Potter. We've had ones that focus on NBC's Parks and Recreation with Amy Poehler. There's been one about the history of chocolate. There's been one that's on tea. This one in particular that's on this slide actually is focusing on citizenship in the community. So that one, for that one, these students got to decorate downtown Glenside for the holidays as a part of their course. So there are so many different options to choose from. The ones that are major specific, if you're interested in that, there is one about like physical therapy, for example, or forensic science, or ones that are kind of more fun and have a creative aspect like the other ones that I mentioned. Obviously in the top left here, you can see our beautiful castle. The castle actually used to be a private residence way back in the day when it was first built. And the architect for the castle actually designed the Philadelphia Museum of Art as well, which is downtown here in the city. So it's really amazing. The castle is home to first-year residence halls, like I said, our Office of Enrollment Management, and the President's Office as well. Some of you might recognize it if you've seen the movie Creed 2 as well. Creed 2 was actually filmed, one of the scenes in Creed 2 was filmed in the castle at Arcadia, which is really, really, really cool. First time I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, like, that's so cool, I can work there. And then, like I mentioned, we are in the greater Philadelphia area, so you're only about 25 minutes from downtown Philadelphia. We do have a train station that is within a mile of campus, so it's really easy to get down and use SEPTA, which is our regional transit company that we have in the Philadelphia area to get downtown. There's also a bus stop right in the front of the castle, so that can kind of get you in the surrounding Glenside area, in addition to getting you downtown as well. These two pictures at the bottom here are actually from our first year orientation. There is a kind of discovering Philadelphia part of first year orientation, and that you get to spend the day exploring the city with your fellow classmates. So the bottom right here is City Hall in Philadelphia. And then down here on the left is actually Reading Terminal Market, which is one of our amazing eateries and kind of like hubs for restaurants in the city, which is so amazing. And we actually rent out a portion of that Reading Terminal Market for just Arcadia students to kind of take over for the day. So it's really, really amazing. It's a great way to kind of get to know the city a little bit and get to know your classmates for sure. All right, so it wouldn't be Arcadia if we didn't talk about studying abroad. So Arcadia is actually nationally ranked in study abroad participation for 10 years now. We're second in the nation. Over 80% of our students are going to use their passport in some way before they graduate, which is so amazing and something that we're really proud of. Like I mentioned in the beginning, personal learning experience was something that is one of our main pillars at Arcadia. That global perspective is also one of those main pillars as well. So we really try and make it as accessible for students as possible. The class of 2019, during the 4 years that they were at Arcadia, actually got to travel to 37 countries overall. So that's almost a quarter of the world that students have gotten to earn credit in other countries in some way, which is so amazing. We have short-term programs, long-term programs. You can do programs over the summer if you would like. Anything that's, kind of fits what you're looking for. You can do a full semester, you can do a week. It's totally up to you. We have a couple of unique programs that we offer as well. One of them is called our Phi Side Program, which is our first year study abroad experience. So you actually have a couple opportunities as a freshman to go abroad during your first year. Phi Side Program actually goes to our London center, which is one of our Arcadia centers around the world. It is our largest center that we have around the world. So there's actually Arcadia faculty and staff that are on the ground in London with you during your first year in your spring semester. So you do have the opportunity to go abroad for that. One of our other really popular programs is called Preview. Preview is a program that's a week-long experience during the spring semester of your first year as well, where it's a 2-credit course actually that you take, meets once a week, so it's not a huge time commitment for that, which is really cool. It focuses on a country and then a topic within that country, and as a part of that course, you get to go to that country for a week during spring break with your class and with your professor to learn hands-on about what you're doing. Usually there's 10 to 12 countries every year that you can choose from. Typically, it's a highly subsidized course, so it typically is under $700 for the whole course and the whole experience. So that includes your airfare, your hotel and housing accommodations, a couple of your meals, and then any excursions that you do as well. So it's really amazing that, if you're not sure if you want to study abroad for a full semester or for anything long-term, you can do Preview for your spring break and then see where it takes you and see if it's something that you want to pursue further. We could spend so much more time talking about studying abroad. It really is for everyone. It's something that we, not only want to talk about, being really important, but we want to put our money where our mouth is too and say, this is something that's really important. We want to give you as many options as we can. Studying abroad is by no means required at Arcadia, but it's something that we want to, encourage our students to get that global perspective. All right, so we do have a couple special admit programs that I want to talk to you guys a little bit about as well. You're automatically considered for all these programs when you apply to to Arcadia. So we did talk about Phi Side a little bit. We do have a Phi Side program, which is our second year study abroad experience in addition. We do have an honors program at Arcadia. It's not a specific honors college. It is a program that you're going to be doing in addition to pursuing your regular undergraduate degree at Arcadia. We do have a Civic Scholars program as well, which is really cool. The Civic Scholars program is something that's new to Arcadia. It actually focuses on social justice and kind of pursuing that within the Arcadia community of Glenside and Philadelphia. Our College to Career Scholars is also a new program. We're working with our Career Education Center throughout your time at Arcadia. And we do have something called the SAGE Fellowship, which is actually a program that we work with in partnership to our School of Education, focusing on bringing more students of color and people of color into the field of education, which is really amazing. Something that's also kind of being piloted this year as well. So really exciting stuff with the special admit programs that we have going on at Arcadia as well. To give you a little bit of an idea of what the class of 2019 is doing, after graduation, we are so proud to say that over 97% of our students are pursuing some sort of postgraduate outcome that they want to be in within 6 to 9 months of graduation. So whether it's going right into the workforce, continuing their education with a graduate program, doing a little bit of both, there are so many different outcomes that our students have had. Like I mentioned in the previous slide, we do have a career education center on campus that'll work with you throughout your time at Arcadia to get you going and make sure you're prepared with resume help, finding internships, resume building, that sort of thing. They're going to be there for you the whole way. All right, so kind of moving into the application process a little bit. Arcadia is rolling admissions. So our application opened on August 1st. There are a couple things that you need that are required to be considered for admission. Application in some form or another. We are on the Common App. We also have our own online Arcadia application as well. Either one works fine. There's no preference either way. There's no fee for either application as well. We'll also need your high school transcript and then one letter of recommendation from either a teacher or a counselor as well. Arcadia also just recently adopted an SAT optional policy, SAT and ACT optional policy as well. So if you don't have SAT scores or ACT scores, we do ask for some supplemental materials instead, but they are not required for admission. A little bit about financial aid and scholarships as well. So all students are automatically reviewed for merit-based scholarship when you apply. There's nothing that you have to do separately on our application in order to be considered for merit-based scholarships. You're automatically considered. It is a holistic review process, so it's based on everything that you submit for your application. Those are good for all 4 years that you're there at Arcadia as well. You are given your own financial aid counselor as well, who will be with you during your whole time at Arcadia and help you with any of your questions that you might have. We also have an online calculator to help you determine your estimated aid package and your EFC in as little as 5 minutes on our website, which is really awesome. We do have a campus tour as well. We have our 360 audio tour, which is really amazing. There's a couple of really awesome 360 photos of campus for you to kind of get to know campus a little bit. Our wonderful students actually also put together the audio and kind of the story for our campus tour as well, so you can hear from current students talking about their favorite parts of campus. So I highly encourage you guys to check that out on our website as well. And there's some more, hopefully some more interactive tours and virtual experiences that we're going to be having in the near future as well. So right now we're actually doing virtual sessions on Zoom every week as well, which is really awesome. So feel free to get connected and hopefully stop by campus, air quotes right now, but we'd love to have you. You can also stay connected with our social media platforms. These are definitely a great follow for sure, because it tells you a little bit about what's going on at Arcadia. Now it's going to be telling you a lot about what our virtual events are going to be over the next couple of months. So feel free to take a look at those. They're great resources for learning more about campus. We'll do student takeovers with student organizations on campus. So you can learn a little bit more about clubs and organizations, as well as kind of get to know us as a university and as an admissions office. All right, so that's all that I have for everyone. I'm going to take a look at the Q&A, see if anything popped in. Looks like no questions at this point. So I really appreciate everybody coming out, and I appreciate WACAC for putting this on and having us here. So if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Nick, and for all the attendees, thank you for joining us. When we end the broadcast here in a second, there will be a quick survey. If you'd be so kind as to fill out the 4 questions, we would really appreciate it. And a follow-up reminder that recordings of this session and all of the sessions from the last 2 weeks will be made available on wacac.com in the very near future. Thanks, and have a good night, everyone.